What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? This is your boy Reg here. Before I start, I want to also give a rest in peace to Mr. Jimmy Spicer. In case you guys don't know, Jimmy Spicer was an hip hop pioneer and stuff like that. He rose to fame like in the late '70s to the early '80s and shit like that. You know, he has songs like Adventures of Super Rhyme, Rap, which has been sampled a lot in hip hop and stuff like that. Like from people from like Redman to Nas and shit like that, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Dollar Bill, y'all, and shit like that, which is probably like his best known single and shit. Yeah, man. Jimmy Spicer, he died. I want to say this past Friday, the 27th, because he had brain and lung cancer, by the way. So, R.I.P. to hip hop pioneer Jimmy Spicer. Also, before I also forget too, I want to give also the R.I.P. to Mr. Louis Rankin. For those who don't know who Louis Rankin is, he's an actor slash artist that he was if you guys are fans of Belly, he played who did he play? He played he just I forgot his name at the moment. Forgot his name at the moment who he played and shit. It just skipped my fucking mind, but yeah, he actually had a car accident and stuff like that, and he died. I think he was 66 years old too, and shit like that. So yeah, man. Oh, Ox. He played Ox on Belly and shit. Yeah, I might be about to have a brain fart for a minute, but yeah, man. And one more thing I want to say. So this past weekend, I was at the Art of Cool Festival and shit like that. Very dope concert. This whole weekend, I saw people like Black Violin. I saw Ari Lennox, who I had a pleasure of meeting too. Very nice lady and stuff like that. Like her. Definitely got to review her album too. Once I get it, I gotta definitely review her album too. Once I get it. Jill Scott, I saw perform. I saw that was on Friday. Then the next day was the hip hop concert where like Big Daddy Kane performed. He featured Master Ace, Cool G Rap, and Craig G. Kane did his stuff, and then the rest they did a symphony and shit. Saw Houdini and stuff too. Houdini definitely. I'm not like I gotta be real. I'm not the biggest Houdini fan, but they did a thing. They performed like a couple songs I liked, like One Love, Freaks Come Out at Night, and shit like that. Which two of my favorite songs from Houdini. Rest in peace to Larry Smith, by the way, too. And the big finale was when Run DMC performed. It was crazy because Run DMC they didn't perform in Durham until it was like the first time in 30 years that they performed like in North Carolina and shit like that too. Jam Master Jason, as I should say, did his thing. They had like a little DJ battle and shit between him and this other DJ too. DMC gave away his legendary hat to some fan. I fucking wanted that damn hat, by the way, but you know what? I was just grateful that being students of the culture, just witnessing all these legends on stage and shit like that. Hip hop, R&B wise and stuff like that. So yeah, that Art of Cool weekend definitely. I always love definitely going to Art of Cool and shit like that too. So yeah, man. And also, in case you guys did not know, like Big Daddy Kane, Ninth Wonder, and Shirley Caesar, they're definitely going to be honored in the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame too. So in case you guys live in the NC area, be on the lookout for that. But with that being said, I already wasted about 5 minutes, so here we go. Album I'm about to review today is Heather B's Takin Mine. This is a debut album that she dropped in 1996 on, I want to say, EMI, Pendulum and under EMI. This album was all produced by Kenny Parker, with one song being produced by the Beatminers. And the only guest appearances on this album is MOP. Alright, so I finished reviewing the Boogie Down albums, minus the live album, which that's gonna be a very dope review I want to do. I'm gonna save that for a good day and shit. Finished reviewing those albums. I'll review KRS-One's first two solo albums and shit like that. I might possibly do I Got Next sometime next week, cause I know I'm going out of town this weekend and shit. So I thought, I was, like I mentioned before in the self-titled review, I was gonna do the originally I was gonna review D Nice's Call Me D Nice album, but I don't have that album in my collection, and I feel like, Heather B is like a BDP affiliate or a member of the BDP crew, if you want to put it bluntly. So I feel like this will kind of fill in the void, between like the Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, y'all know where I'm getting at. So yeah, Heather B, a name that you don't hear a lot when it comes to like dope female rappers, in my opinion. Maybe it's because, like, a lot of people want to always say, oh, well, I'm gonna get into that. Before I get into that, for those who don't know who Heather B is, she is an MC, reality TV personality, which I'm gonna get into in a minute. That was from, I believe she's from the Bronx and shit like that. Excuse me. Okay, so she was I think she grew up with Kenny Parker and stuff like that, and she was like mostly like Kenny Parker's artist, to be put it bluntly. And she was mostly Kenny Parker's artist. She rose to fame. She had like a few appearances, like short appearances on a couple of BDP songs, like 7 DJs from the Edutainment album. She had Don't Hold Us Back from the Heal the World project and shit like that. She was the female on damn, what's that shit called? What's that song called? 13 and Good song. Yeah, she was the one who was like, and I ain't even on the pill. So y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, she gave a few cameos and shit like that. And fast forward to 1992, where she was a cast member of the first season of The Real World New York, which The Real World, believe it or not, was actually like the first reality show on MTV, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, because they had like different versions of The Real World over the years, but like this was like the first one and shit like that. So and she always wanted to be a rapper and stuff like that, so she kind of like had, oh shit, yeah, she kind of like incorporated that into the show, if that makes sense, and stuff like that. And so during the time while she was on the show, they showed her footage of her recording like I want to say like this album, but before it was called Takin Mine, it was actually called Systems. It's called The System Sucks, basically. And there's a clip where she's actually recording All Glocks Down, basically, and shit like that. Now that was like the original version of this album and shit like that. So the success of The Real World got her a deal with if I'm not mistaken, with Elektra Records, and got her deal with Elektra Records and shit like that at first. And she came out with her first single called I Get Wrecked, basically. I Get Wrecked. And so yeah, so fast forward I think to like 95, she relocated to like Pendulum Records and stuff. She relocated to Pendulum Records and stuff like that. And then she was getting ready to record this album and shit like that. Like, she dropped the single All Glocks Down, which I'm gonna talk about that song while I'm reviewing this album. And yeah, man, 10 songs. Yeah, this whole album was recorded, released in 1996 and shit. The singles album was known for, it came out with 3 singles: All Glocks Down, If Heads Only Know, and My Kinda Nigga featuring MOP. Shout out to MOP. I gotta really talk about some MOP on this channel, but I don't have their albums yet, you know, because their albums are kind of hard to come by, like around where I stay at and shit like that. Because I think the most I saw the first album in the vinyl store I always be going to, but that shit was like fucking $50. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that shit, because I don't think their stuff is really hard out of print, but it's kind of like hard to come by in certain parts and shit like that too. So yeah. Alright. As I said before, Kenny Parker produced this whole album minus one song from the Beat Miners, which is Real Niggas Up. But yeah, man, some of Kenny Parker's best beats are on this album. Like Kenny Parker, man, I lately when reviewing like the Boogie Down production albums and shit like that, I just had a new respect and interest in Kenny Parker and shit like that, because I've always thought he was dope. I always thought he was dope and shit, but I just have like a new respect for him, because next to KRS-One, he's always an underrated producer and shit like that, and definitely one of the influential boom bap producers in my personal opinion. So yeah, this is the album cover right here. Got Heather B just relaxing and stuff like that, you know. Got the kicks on display and shit. Oh, by the way, shout out to my homeboy in Philly, Kima, because he hooked me up with this CD years ago and shit. So yeah, Kima, hope you're doing good, bro. You already know. Yeah, man. Just has nothing really to it. Just has the credits and shit. Yeah, man. So with this album is pretty much, if you're like a fan of like KRS-One, the way he rhymes and stuff like that, you'll most definitely love this album, because she's mostly talking about like a lot of braggadocio, I'm the best MC kind of ordeal and shit like that. But you know, some songs she does have like some subject matter in certain songs, which you will find out once I start talking about them. Alright. So, track number 1, The Heartbreaker. Love this fucking track. It's the first song, no fucking intro, just firing all cylinders and shit like that. Yeah, man, fucking had to be The Heartbreaker, braggadocio shit. She has some very dope quotables like, no trespassing, no intruding. Wannabe hoods want my spot ruined. You better watch your back or it's a blow. We ain't peace cause you ain't smoking loud now. You ain't come around back when I wasn't smoking. Now all the time you wanna be token. I'm open like the 2-4 spot. Got dimes to chuck around for the heads to get hot like. And that's a common theme, which she's gonna be talking about this album, like talking about, you know, her coming up and just her deserving respect too, like in the hip hop game and shit like that. So Heartbreaker, definitely dope song. Kenny Parker definitely did his thing on the beat too. Then track number 2, All Glocks Down. One of my favorite songs off this album, maybe my favorite, is either between this one and another one, which I'm gonna mention in a minute. Like it definitely had that early BDP influence, you know, just kind of like putting down the guns, and if you want to battle, you're gonna battle with rhymes instead of weapons and shit, which references the term All Glocks Down. Yeah, man, this is pretty much, I want to say this is her signature song, if in my personal opinion. Yeah, man, very dope song. I love this song, man. This is a fucking hip hop classic, if you ask me, man. Like, every time you hear that beat like that, dun dun, ugh, man, like, and she performed this song on Soul Train too. I think I want to say in '96. Dope Soul Train performance and shit. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to find that, it should be on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, man, All Glocks Down, man. That's fucking hip hop classic in my opinion. Track number 3, If Heads Only Knew. Again, another one of her famous songs in my opinion. This is a song where like she's talking about, you know, herself, you know, coming up in the rap game and shit like that. You know, people coming up in the rap game and how certain hip hop heads always want to discredit like certain MCs because she's a female MC, which I'm gonna talk about that, you know, once I review this album and shit, because I do have some shit to say. So yeah, If Feds Only Knew, very dope song. She had like a lot of dope punchlines throughout this whole fucking track. Like, I got verbals, I got herbals, and antihistamines. I'm herbally and verbally distributing you listening. It's more to it than Alexa and Duplex. Don't sell sex or most sex sells. I got more respect. And that's a very bold line and shit like that, because if you really want to, in hindsight, in 1996, that was the year of the Lil Kims and Foxy Browns and shit, because those two female MCs and shit like that were just promoting sex and shit like that, all throughout their music and shit. And so a lot of people always had that. Let's just put it this way: like Lil Kim and Foxy Brown definitely redefined female hip hop. Well, I hate using that term, female hip hop. They redefined female MCs at that time and shit like that. Which I'm gonna definitely do a video about that shit. I'm definitely gonna do a video about that one day. But give me one second. Baby, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I gotta get myself some H2O because a nigga throat's dry. But yeah, man. Fucking Heather B. If Heads Only Knew, love that song. Very relatable song today and shit like that. By the way, what was I about to say? Oh, never mind. That's the next song. Okay. Track number 4. My Kinda Nigga featuring MOP. Heather B and MOP on the same track, man. What could go wrong, basically, man. Man, this is a fucking banger, man. My opinion, man, I want to say Billy had the best verse out of MOP and shit like that, man. I always love the line when he says, never flip an 8-month sentence to a 12-year bid. Be presidential in your residential. Show them niggas what you into. Use your potential. Slang your dope, nigga. Slang your crack. Go on. That's where it's at. That's where you get it at, fool. Like, I fucking love MOP, man. MOP. But to me, like, my favorite albums from them, their first 4 albums are my favorite, but they never dropped any bad shit, in my opinion. So, yeah, man. I might do a discography breakdown on them, too, one day. But yeah, and also, since we're talking about MOP, I believe they did a sequel that was on the First Family for Life album, which is a dope album which I need to re-listen to that album too. But it's a dope album. Yeah, I think the sequel is named My Kinda Nigga Part 2 and shit like that. And Heather B is on that track too. And ironically, the craziest thing about it is, ironically, the Beat Miners actually produced that version and shit. And it's kind of crazy because they did the first verse. They did only one song here, but they produced that version and shit. Which, yeah, man, I found that kind of interesting. But yeah, that's If Heads Only Knew. I mean, nah, scratch that. My Kinda Nigga. Track number 5, Takin Mine. Yeah, that's probably my favorite song off this album, which I believe is playing in the background right now. Yeah, this song right here is another relatable song because it's talking about how one desires to make it big in the music business and shit like that. Just, Heather B humbling herself because with Heather B, you saw her coming up and shit like that. She was an affiliate with BDP, Come to the Real World, and she's dropping this album right here too. So it's kind of like a little coming of age story and shit. I like the line when she says, we be smoking and tossing up God's green salads. Our dressing is golden, but the letter's all Italian. That Franklin paper stacked up by the 1,000, and government won't be controlling our housing. Very dope line and shit. Yeah, and it uses the same sample that Luther Vandross sampled and shit like that, which it has been famously used by a lot of rappers. The most famous rapper was Capone Noriega, whom I feel like they use the sample the best. I think Sam Snead use the sample the best for the for that song and shit like that. Y'all should know that song, so I don't want to speak too much about it. Track number 6, Mad Bent. Mad Bent. Oh, also check out the Evil Needle remix of Taking Mine too. Mad Bent. Yeah, that was a pretty solid song. Not really too big on that song, be real. Track number 7, Sending Them Back. Another solid song right there too. Another solid song right there too and shit like that. Another braggadocio song where you like, she's basically saying I'm the best MC and shit. You know what I'm saying? Send them back to the lab, fix your rhymes up. That's what I got from that. Next track we got is No Doubt. Very dope song. Has a great usage of the Biggie sample and shit like that. Yeah, very cool song. Like that shit. And then we got Real Niggas Up, which is actually the song where the beat mine is produced for her. Yeah, man, Real Niggas Up. Yeah, that was another solid song too. Beat Minus, I mentioned them a lot on this channel and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Recently mentioned them when I was reviewing the Boot Camp Click for the People album, which I have to say is not a very good album because they didn't really produce that album because, you know, the Boot Camp wanted to do something different with that album, but that's another story. Well, actually, y'all can just watch my review on that. To get a good picture of what I mean by that. So, yeah, Real Niggas Up. That was a pretty solid song. And the last track off this album is What Goes On, which What Goes On basically was a song about. It's just talking about how real friendship and stuff like that, and surrounding yourself with people who actually got your back, except for people who would rather see you fucking fail and be miserable and shit like that. Yeah, man, very dope song, man. Nice way to end off the fucking album and shit too. And yeah, man, very dope song. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a more rugged version of KRS-One's "A Friend" song from the I Got Next album, which I'm gonna talk about that again like next week. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, with that being said, this is a very, 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 very dope album and shit like that. I gotta be real with you guys. You know, I kind of slept on Heather B. On some real shit. I did sleep on Heather B a little bit. She kind of grew on me. I definitely liked her stilo, her lyricism, and shit like that. She definitely had that rough and rugged kind of deal and shit. What else about this album? Lyrically, she definitely did a thing on this shit right here. I definitely would give her that. Definitely did a thing on this song lyrically and shit. I definitely felt like, you know, she came into her own. Both her and Kenny Parker definitely came a long way and shit like that when it came to this fucking album. Yeah, man. And it's kind of crazy too because when this album came out, it wasn't really that much for. I mean, it was a success. It was a success and shit like that, but it wasn't that drawing like big numbers like with what Hardcore and Ill Na Na would do with the fucking Future and shit like that. And so, with that being said, it took her like another 6 years until she dropped her next album, which was Eternal Affairs and stuff like that. And you know, around this time and around that time too, between then and there, she's been keeping herself busy with acting and, you know, reality TV projects and shit like that. And, you know, I think now she's like a radio host and shit like that. She works with Sway Calloway and shit like that. So shout out to Sway, by the way. Fucking dope reporter and shit. Ain't got nothing bad to say about Sway in my opinion, but yeah, man. Heather B definitely held her own. Like, this is the perfect example of an MC holding their own and shit like that, you know, especially coming from like the Boogie Down Productions. Especially coming from like the Boogie Down Productions and the Boogie Down Production, you know, Kenny Parker and shit like that, you know. So you gotta definitely gotta come correct because she didn't really want to be like one of those reality TV or actors and actresses that just does hip hop just for like a cash grab and shit like that. Like she definitely did a thing with this shit right here. So yeah, this album's out of print, unfortunately. But it's not expensive from what I looked up. So if y'all can find this album, must have in your collection. And yeah, man, fucking Taking Mine. That's a very. It just shows. It just goes to show that not all female rappers are gonna be always on that sex shit and shit like that. Because with this album, really got lost in the shuffle. Excuse me. Album really got lost in the shuffle and shit like that, which is unfortunate because Head to Be is definitely an unslept on female MC. Definitely wish she would have dropped some more material, but with that being said, this is your boy Reg here. Make sure y'all click that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, RealReg1. Follow me on Instagram, which is MC Reg Music. Peace. Have a good night.